Business can be a lonely game, but it doesn't have to be. Welcome to Boutique Chat, where we explore community over competition and how to scale your company with the balance and the happiness that we all seek. We'll hear from product-based businesses of all types, retailers, e-commerce, and wholesale brands, along with industry experts shaping the future of our industry. I'm your host, Ashley Alderson from the Boutique Hub, and I can't wait to chat.
Hi, moms. This one is for you. It's the middle of summer. You're busy. I'm busy. We're feeling sweaty. We're doing all the things. We're going to the ball games. We're going to the pool. We smell like sunscreen 24/7. And we are trying to do it all in business and in life. And sometimes, by gosh, that's really freaking overwhelming. So moms, I wanted to create this little episode just for you to remind you of a couple things. I guess the biggest thing I want to remind you of is the best advice I got from my husband is this: life and business are not a zero-sum game. So when you feel like you are trying to do it all and you feel like, man, I'm giving 70% right now to my business, or it's summer and you're like, man, I'm giving 70% right now to my kids and making sure they don't drown in the pool. Like, that's a full-time job, right? Little Johnny needs a leash. When you're doing 70% on one side of your life or business, it does not mean that you're doing 30 on the other. Just because you are super strong and have all this attention in one, it doesn't mean that there's only 30% left over for the rest. Does that make sense? It's not a zero-sum game. Just because you're excellent in one area doesn't mean you fail in the other. I believe that when you're someone who is dedicated to being a high achiever, you want to be a great mom, you want to be a great business owner, you want to be a great friend, you want to be a great spouse, all these things. When you're somebody who is really dedicated to that type of living, I think that it carries over and it spills over into all aspects of your life. But I think the thing we must remember is there is seasons of that. So I know that I am great in business. I work really hard at it. I know when I show up, things work, and I can be great in this aspect. But I also know I can be a great mom, and one doesn't take away from the other. I'm committed to being great in both. But the seasons thing, that's what's really important. So in this season of summer, for me personally, I slow down with a lot of my work commitments. I don't travel for work. I really don't go to a lot of markets. I'm not overbooking myself with meetings. I'm not taking on new projects and new opportunities. I'm really just trying to buckle down, go a little bit deeper in the things we're working on versus going a lot wider, doing the things that I'm committed to doing really well, but creating enough space for this season of my life when my kids are home for the summer to be really present with them. It's a season. But then I know the season of back to school, as that hits and I start to get back into basketball season, which my Atlanta is 24/7 these days, and I love it. I know that, yes, I'm going to be present in that season, but I'm probably going to have to go full speed back into fall and back into what's happening at the Boutique Hub and work. It's a season. For you, it's the holiday season. You're full steam ahead when it comes to work in the holiday season, right? And so your kids have to know what season you're in. When is a new season starting? And when can they expect this current season to end if it's one that maybe is limited with time? So someone once explained it to me like this: you're constantly juggling all of these different balls, right? You just have to know that some of these balls that you're juggling are glass and some of these balls are rubber. And there's going to be times when you have to choose a couple of balls to drop. You just have to make sure it's not the glass ones. And that's how I see it as a parent. Now, here's the kind of crappy part. You understand this, and your spouse understands this because I know you're communicating with them. But I'm just going to tell you that there's a lot of times where your greater family isn't going to understand this. I don't know if I've maybe talked about this, maybe I haven't, but early on in our business, before the Boutique Hub ever really took off or, became something successful, I'll say, there was a lot of doubt from members of the family. I won't say what side or who or anything like that, but of the family, to the point where we were getting messages and emails and things saying, hey, Ashley should probably just get a real job. Ashley should probably slow down and not travel so much. Your kids need home cooked meals and they look like they have a disheveled appearance, literally. And that was a really hard season. It was really hard to know that there was people that were on our team or in our corner, but weren't really in our corner or didn't really see the vision or understand where we are. I tell you that just to tell you that it's okay. It's okay for people not to understand as long as you know in your heart where you are and where you're headed and you have a plan. You literally have a plan. You know that you're in this season, you know when the season ends, and you haven't just glossed it all over and made some grandiose excuse that, well, I'm a business owner, so my life is supposed to be like this 24/7. No, it's a season, but what are you doing to get out of this season and to get into the next one, right? So I encourage you to have these tough conversations. Really look at the season that you're in. Look at how you're showing up in both and know and give yourself some grace and a pat on the back that you're a high achiever and you're going to work hard in both areas of being a mom and being a successful business owner. Talk to your kids about those seasons as well. Include them on the journey as much as you can. Time is fleeting, right? But money is not. You have an opportunity to make money in business. You don't always have an opportunity to create the time. So set those boundaries, say no where you know you need to so you can show up how you want to. That's it. You've got this, Mom. You're doing great. You're a great mom. And you deserve a hug and a ribbon and maybe even hell, a White Claw, right? You go get them this week. I'm thinking of you. I'm proud of you. Thanks for showing up here. And I hope you have an amazing rest of your summer. Thanks for listening, guys.
Thanks for listening, guys. I hope you took away all kinds of nuggets and new ideas from this week's episode. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a rating and review. We love to hear your feedback and give you a chance to be featured on the show each and every week. For more information on our spirit of community over competition and to access guest downloads and bonuses and all the resources we talked about on the show, head on over to theboutiquehub.com and join the community. We'll see you next week.